to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind.
In a different lane.
We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and y'all, you know what I want to know? Are you part of the Get Along gang?
Me?
Yeah, you, Henry.
I don't know exactly what that is. What is that?
That's why you should stay tuned, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Are you a part of the Get Along gang? But before we do, hopefully you are, and you're at Gentili Italian Pie on Tuesdays for $2 Tuesdays on tap. Gentili Italian Pie at 4706 Paris Avenue. That is today. Gentili Italian Pie is home of the family happy hour. That is $5 wings, $5 personal pizzas, $5 drink specials. That is Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dine in or carry out 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. And that's $2 Tuesdays on tap. But you know what else Gentili Italian Pie is doing right now?
What?
It's parade season, y'all. It's ball season. Everybody needs some food. Everybody needs some options. You might as well have your favorite food when you're at the Zulu ball or whatever ball that you're going to be at. So if you want, a catering package, make sure you call them. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180, because that is a good life. They have wings. That's all. We talk about their wings all the time. Wings, sandwiches, pastas. They have shrimp scampi. They have chicken parmesan. You can create a package that, works for you, and then you just go pick it up on your way to Zulu, and then all is right in the world, and you don't have to do anything. Wouldn't that be nice?
And they got my favorite, the calzone. Takes me 3 days to eat it. Yeah.
Exactly, but they'll cut it into different pieces for you if you want to bring that to the ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you call Gentili Italian Pie. That is 504-826-9180. 504-826-9180, because that is the good life. Henry, what are you doing on Friday?
I'm going to...
You better be the Good Laugh.
That thing, yeah. I forgot the name of it. But yeah.
Oh, Henry.
The Good Laugh.
Brian, help me out, Henry.
Going down on a Friday.
It is going down. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. Sets off at Bullets, which is 2441 AP Tour Road, January 29th at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. That's thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday is presented by the Good Life Radio Show, featuring Stand Up NOLA, combining Relationship Tuesday with the crew, Eileen, Uche, Brian, Henry, and Ty, and Fridays, the Good Laugh Comedy Hour with comedians Tony Freddick and Matt Owens. The Good Laugh is comic relations. Y'all, come hear what goes on during commercial breaks. Come get your relationship questions answered live. You never know what's going to come out of their mouth.
Well, now that we're going to be live and off the radio.
Exactly.
Righteous.
Exactly. So this Friday, y'all, it'll be nothing nice. And if you stay tuned throughout the course of the show, we will be giving away 2 free tickets after the third break. So make sure you stay tuned to the entire show today, because that is the good life. And hopefully you are a part of Get Along Gang, and it's a $10 entry free. So we will see you there, $10 at Bullets this Friday, 7 p.m. Be there, be square.
They had what was that little TV show they had to Get Along Gang when we was kids?
That was a cartoon.
Cartoon? Yeah,
was
right.
it?
Yeah. I heard of that.
Dude. Yeah,
Can we do it again?
I can't remember. I
heard of
it. Let's get it in. Come on,
well, the Get Along Gang, it kind of means to conform in order to have acceptance and security. And I talk about it all the time, opening your mind to living differently in the world, love, compassion, understanding, tolerance. Well, when we're acting with true compassion, when we're believing that we are being compassionate, but actually just tolerating or getting along with bad behavior because we want to be a nice person, a good friend, or a good partner. If you believe being compassionate means accepting people where they are while condoning, accepting, enabling, or excusing their bad behavior, what line is that? We have our 2 specialists in the studio with me today. I'm really excited. We have Henry, our relationship therapist, and we have Brian Turner, Dr. Brian Turner, I should say, our clinical psychologist, a professor at Xavier University, XU. So, I really want to get the professional side, and then I want, the real side of it. Because I'm going to give you all different situations, because, we say that, but then sometimes our actions don't necessarily, walk on that order. because your ethics kind of become shady when it's a friend. Let's just say you have a couple that's a friend. Y'all been friends like 7 or 8 years.
Right.
And I know somebody's been in this situation, and then you find out one of the partners is cheating.
Right.
But you don't believe in cheating. And let's just say that you are cooler with the one that is cheating, and then y'all go out, and then let's just say it's the guy, since y'all are guys, obviously. I think so, right? And then he brings the girlfriend, and it's not the wife.
Here comes the double standard.
I'm just asking.
I hate to bring it up.
There is someone out there. I know there are listeners out there who have been in this situation. What do you do? It's your boy, but you are friends with his wife.
Well, being real, for some reason it's just more acceptable and cool for a man to do that.
Henry,
I'm just telling the truth.
Statements made by some.
I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Do not represent the views of all.
Give me the life version, and then give me the relationship
the
therapist version.
The life version is if it's a woman doing the cheating, everybody's like, oh my God, that's messed up. She is dirty. That is terrible. 9 times out of 10, if it's a dude, it's like, man, you down bad for that. But it's kind of funny, like it's a laugh. But it's not supposed to be like that. But that's just society. It's the double standard. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But what you're supposed to do,
what happened
is have a conversation with the person who is not being faithful, and really try to get to the bottom of it. I mean, if you're a friend, you shouldn't want your friend to go down the wrong path. You should want everybody around you to be better people. And we all have our faults. And just because you're friends doesn't mean you have to accept. You do have to accept it in a way because you can't control anybody, but you should encourage your friend to do the right thing, but respect them as a person when they make their own decision.
Okay, I can hear that. Brian. Why are you coughing?
Very tough topic.
Yeah.
Right.
First and foremost,
it's real life.
Good
morning,
way to
Dr.
jump
Turner.
off the porch on this day, right?
You're welcome.
We're going to talk about the game of life that we play. I say first and foremost, I'm going to go real, just honestly. And this is something I would say that has to happen. You and your friends have to understand what your rules are about things. So I'm going to just be honest. With me and my friends, we have a rule. Ones meet ones and twos never do.
Wait, say that again.
Ones meet ones and twos never do.
So y'all have a rule about this. Ones meet ones
and twos never do.
Twos
never do nothing. If she's not a number one, or if he's not a number one, because I got female friends, I have to tell the same
really?
thing.
Okay.
You only people we meet in the couple situation are ones.
And so this is an understanding?
This is understood.
Wow.
And don't bring it around me.
But even then though, but it's ones only meet ones. So if we chilling at the house, if it's not a dedicated 2 day, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you know where we get it from, really honestly? Watching old mob movies. If you really want to be honest about it, in the mobster movies and the gangster movies, they had the night for the side chicks, and everybody understood that. Even the wives understood that. Now, I'm being honest with you.
So everybody understood that there's a night for it.
Yeah, go back and watch Goodfellas or watch.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, go back and watch. I'm not saying this right, but I'm saying as we talk about the topic, we're going to be honest about how we live in.
Yeah.
And we accepted that because what happened was people got into some bad situations. Now, you want to protect life, limb, and property. So let's be honest about what we're doing. Ones meet ones and twos never do.
Because nothing could put you in trouble like a side chick.
What? Okay, Uche, let's hear it.
What?
What did you say? Nothing can put you in trouble like a side chick?
And what Brian was saying, nothing can put you in trouble like that side chick. Like, because she's around you, she knows all the business. And on Mad Day, she's there to tell everything. So you got to have everything like, if you roll like that, you got to have everything really out in the open. Like, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. My people know who you are. My people's people know who you are. You step out of line.
And it becomes the reality of, once again, and so actually we brought this up in class today. We were talking about Carl Jung, a psychologist who actually, at the height of his career, he actually brought in his mistress to his family. and they all lived together. Now, this was in the
Wait,
Victorian
what?
ages. Yeah,
Slow
he
down.
brought
Wait,
in his
like,
wife to
reel
the,
that back
to the
in.
relationship.
How did you hear about that?
Nah, I mean it's in textbooks.
I
Just-
never
just
saw
look
that.
Up, just
I know who he
Yeah,
is.
just
I
look-
never saw that.
you got to read about his life, but that's what we were talking about was how do these
Golly.
theories and stuff get developed? It was because it's what people live.
Yeah.
So they say, wow,
Oh my God.
I have a side woman. I have a woman outside of the home, and my wife and I have these conversations. Well, let me just see what she about. And so he brought it to the table. The wife and the mistress got along, and it worked for whatever time period. But we were talking about how these theories and stuff get dealt with, and the other reality is that honestly, monogamy as a singular social construct is
No, we're
only.
not.
No. Let me finish because I'm gonna get to the point about
He is a
cheating.
doctor, you know that, right?
I don't care.
The monogamy
Of course you
piece
No, I
is
don't.
only a very strong Judeo-Christian Western civilization ideal as
Lovely.
the only way of relationship. I'm not
Well,
saying
lucky
that
for
people
me,
don't
I'm in
practice
America.
it. I'm not saying you're not supposed to
Where
practice
it's-
monogamy.
where
What
it's
I'm saying is,
practiced.
as a construct,
I don't share.
that's
I
fine.
don't have-
So you
I don't
think
have to share.
That's
So you think
And when
You-
and
you
if I
don't
find
know.
out, I don't have to
you
share.
don't
Well,
know.
that doesn't mean you haven't been sharing if you found out.
You are absolutely correct. And
Not,
I'm
you
no longer
find
with
out
them
you're sharing
either.
doesn't
And you're no
erase it.
longer with them, right? When you find out.
Are you a one or a two?
Come on.
How do you know? You don't define that. This is the point of what you're talking about.
Kirk
You
Cousins
Because
are
we have
Can
a
I
arguing?
finish?
conversation
Wait,
all
wait,
the time
wait.
about our red
Well,
flags.
you do,
and if
but
you're
let
only
me
the
say
phone
something.
call, come on now.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Are you a starter? Or you coming off
The bottom line is,
Dude, I am
if you
always a
don't know
starter.
what you are because
I'm
you
always
don't
a starter.
designate who you are.
Oh, you know we win.
The man in the relationship designates who you are.
I am not the get along gang.
You don't know.
Well, I'm not the get along
So you saying
gang.
you ain't never been?
I said I am not the get along
I
gang.
am
That's what
asking
I
you
said.
have never been.
I said I am not the get along gang.
Thanks for answering the question. She answered.
No. Have I fall? I don't want to say victim because I'm not a victim, but have I fallen prey to someone who's been untruthful? Absolutely.
Yeah. But that in essence
But was
is
that by your choosing though?
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And all I'm saying, Arlene, is
They're
is that you have to take out the control
They're
of what you
untruthful
do.
people. Yes.
What you do is what you do. But if somebody's coming in to be unfaithful, lying, deceiving, all that, you can't stop that.
Okay, and my point is, are you a part of the get-along gang? So there is a person who's lying, deceitful, disloyal, whatever. You've known them for however long, and do you basically condone their behavior by interacting with them in that
Does who
situation?
condone the behavior?
Your friend. The example is,
Oh, I don't. To answer that question, when I have a friend that's rolling like that,
yeah, that's the question.
I kind of Heisman because
he said,
reflect-
"I Heisman, you dad."
Yeah, I'm like keep distance.
Don't bring
because-
that around me.
Don't bring it around me
Yeah,
because
yeah.
what he does is he reflects on you that you do the same thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're accepting
That's
of
true.
what he does. So for me, I'm like, no, I'm like, keep that over there. We still partners now, but I can't be partners with you in the light.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because the way you rolling, the way you doing it, I don't want any of it around. I don't want to be perceived like that. So you need to keep it on your side. You get that straight Heisman right there.
You get the straight on.
Wait, and
Yeah.
that's why I said, just being real about the conversation, we as my friend group had to have a real conversation because we did not want anyone who was not rolling like that to jeopardize their relationship. So it wasn't about we okay with it. It was about, look, bro, we love you, we care for you, but you need to not jeopardize our relationships. So you do your two thing whenever you want, but when you come here, it's either one thing or none thing. And that's what I said, ones meet ones and twos never do, meaning if I see you out with your two, all right, man, what's up, dog? You good? All right,
Coming
cool.
over for
What's up?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But your
Nah,
two can't come
nah,
to Christmas.
nah.
It's like, man,
Yeah.
with him and his old lady.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because then it turns into the reality of, well, who that was with so-and-so.
That you have to explain.
Right, and I got to explain it to my
Right.
one, and I'm like, well, babe, I don't know. Well, I'm going to see a girl tomorrow at the hair salon, and I'm going to ask her.
Exactly.
But I think the reality of it is something that has to also happen. And what we've talked about other times is defining your value system and allowing your friends to actually know that. You know, and I think that's where we get into trouble. If I don't tell Uche what I'm okay with or not okay with, he ain't gonna know. So he gonna do him. And if I don't say nothing, he gonna think, well, be cool with it.
And I'm glad you said that because we're
at
going
the
to talk
same
about
time
that.
on some grown man stuff. I'm not going. You don't have to tell me.
And exactly, we are going to have that, but you are. You are on that level. But there are so many people out there that are listening that are in this situation or in an uncomfortable situation. But, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about having that conversation. Because to live the good life and to open your mind to living differently in the world, it's having those tough conversations, and we really need to start having them.
True.
If we want to build a community, we need to start having these conversations. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to have that conversation about being part of the get-along gang. Open your mind, y'all. This is Relationship Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Educating children in New Orleans public schools is a challenge today. It is especially tough if you are the parent of a child with special needs. Pyramid Parent Talk is a radio show for parents by parents, providing information and support. Join hosts Lynn Farlow and Karen Harper Royal of the Pyramid Community Parent Resource Center every second and fourth Tuesdays from 2 until 2:30 p.m. for information you can use. You are not alone.
Art Beats and Lyrics hosts its second gathering at the Howling Wolf, Friday, January 22nd from 7 p.m. to midnight. ABL combines various art mediums featuring musical guests, Scarface, Rich Medina, DJ Wally Sparks, DJ Rockaway, Nesby Phipps, and the work crew. For free RSVP, please visit ablradio.com and follow at ABL Radio on all social media platforms. When it comes to tuxedos, Millennium Limousines and Tuxedo Rentals has an array of the hottest, most current styles and colors for you. Tony Bow, Michael Kors, Ralph Lauren, and more. There's 3 important decisions: selection, price, and proper fit. And Millennium Limos and Tuxedo Rentals gives you all 3. Come by today and take advantage of our $59 special. That's right. For only $59, you can be ready for the Mardi Gras revelry this season. Getting married? Rent 8 or more tuxedos and get half off of your limousine transfer. Don't wait. Call or come by today. Millennium Limousine and Tuxedo Rental, 3024 John Lafitte Parkway, 504-377-8628. That's 504-377-8628. Don't waste your time going from place to place. Millennium Limousines and Tuxedo Rentals has everything you need. Millennium Limousine and Tuxedo Rentals, 3024 John Lafitte Parkway, 504-377-8628. That's 504-377-8628.
Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. Sets off at Bullets, 2441 AP Toro, January 29th at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday, going up on a Friday, is presented by the Good Life Radio Show, featuring Stand Up Nola, combining Relationship Tuesday with the crew, Eileen, Uche, Brian, Henry, and Ty, and Fridays, the Good Laugh Comedy Hour with comedians Tony Frederick, Matt Owens, and CJ Hunt. The Good Laugh is comic relations. Buy your tickets online now. thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. Come hear what really goes on during commercial breaks. Come get your relationship questions answered live. Stand Up Nola will say everything we can't say on air. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday, going up on a Friday at Bullets, 2441 AP Toro, January 29th at 7 p.m. Tickets are going fast, so purchase online now at thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years, and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
When it comes to the voice of the people, we're the choice of the people. New Orleans' own WBOK 1230 AM. Real talk for real times.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind.
In a different lane.
We are living the good life here on Relationship Tuesday, which is brought to you by Gentili Italian Pie at 4706 Paris Avenue. They are home of the Family Happy Hour, $5 wings, $5 personal pizza, $5 drink specials, Tuesday through Thursday. That's 3 p.m. through 7 p.m. Dine in or carry out, 504-826-9180. And as we were talking about earlier, everybody's going to a ball. I know you're going to cater or this, that, and the other. Why not get your favorite foods? Make sure you call Gentili Italian Pie. They will set up a menu just for you. Call them at 504-826-9180. 504-826-9180. You can ask for Renee, and he will hook you up because that is the good life. And make sure that you are at Bullets this Friday at the Good Laugh. Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. It sets off at Bullets, 2441 AP Toro, January 29th, 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. That's thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. It's $10 at the door. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday going up on the Fridays, presented by the Good Life Radio Show, me and all my crew, and presented by Stand Up NOLA with our comedians Tony Frederick and Matt Owens. The Good Life is comic relations, so make sure you see us this Friday at 7 p.m. at Bullets. Y'all, get along, gang. We're talking about this through the commercial break. Y'all, you just don't understand. Y'all should really listen to what's going on during commercial break. It's a whole nother level. But here's my deal. Where does the responsibility fall? And I'm going to give you, kind of real life situations where, you have a group of friends, and then the group of friends starts to become like the extra side chicks start, being friends with a friend, and then you thought you didn't know that what it is, and then the side chick is like hanging, and I'm like, I'm not cool with
That's crazy.
I'm not cool with being friends with a side chick. And then they're like, oh, well, why, where are you? Okay.
I can't believe
I can't hang with the side chick, cause then I look crazy, and that's just not how I roll. Y'all, I can't, no, I can't. I know.
So can we talk about what we were talking about during the break?
I guess.
Okay. So
everything too.
I think the reality of it
Oh my gosh.
what we're talking about is a cultural phenomenon about monogamy and how we're supposed to approach relationships. So I think it would be great to hear, because I'm going to just say it. In my therapy practice, and nobody would know the people I've done therapy with because it's not going to be known, I got just as many women who cheat and feel like cheating is a part of life and they can do it as men. Mm-hmm. And I have not seen a significant decline. Actually, most research studies show there's a negligible difference between men and women and their beliefs about cheating. Now, the only difference is potentially why they cheat. That's the only difference. There's no difference in rates of cheating. The only difference is why they cheat. Men cheat because normally she was fine. She was fine. I thought I could get away with it.
Actually, I was reading something about men cheat, and it's like they need attention. The woman isn't giving them enough attention.
Well, yeah, but really it comes down to, can I get away with this right now? She fine? Okay, I'm gonna do it. But women cheat because oftentimes it's a matter of a need not being met in the home around emotional or mental needs and closeness and intimacy. So someone else decides to show that extra love and attention. You could be taking care of the house, but if you're not rubbing her feet, if you're not waking up in the morning,
Talking
with
to
Folgers
her.
in her cup, then you're going to have problems.
Yeah, that's
you better make sure that coffee in the morning piping hot, because if it ain't, she's going to be going somewhere else. She's going to stop at McDonald's or Burger King and get a side cup.
You know what, too?
What?
Men cheat usually in the beginning of the relationship. Women start wilding when it's getting to be over. They start doing their thing. Yeah.
How do we go left?
How
That's
do
not
we?
left or right down the middle, because we're talking about why would we let people get away with cheating in our friendships, and the reality becomes we don't let them get away with it.
We always talk about this.
I mean,
I know y'all.
it's a big,
I know,
big,
but y'all.
Are we on Monday?
These men
Monday,
always
Monday?
have this conversation about this
What day are we
monogamy
on?
thing. No, because y'all always like to bring up that monogamy thing about how it's really not whatever. I'm like,
Well, the
geese,
thing
you
is,
know,
the sooner
they
that
mate
y'all
for life.
accept that we don't have to be monogamous,
Geese
the
mate for life.
sooner.
Well, then don't put a ring on somebody's finger if you don't want to
But
be
we don't
monogamous.
have to. That's the whole point. We don't
Then
have
don't.
to. I don't.
Then
I'm not
date.
married.
I'm not talking
So-
about you, but I'm in general. If you don't want to be monogamous, don't be monogamous.
Look,
No. How about
Date.
this? How about this? If you don't want to be monogamous,
Marriage and monogamy is two different things.
Okay, well,
Oh,
oh, my
man,
God.
that's
if you don't want to
No.
be, all right then. How about
Oh,
this? How about
God.
this?
If you don't want to be with one person,
No, Eileen, it's not.
then
You're putting too much
be
responsibility on the wrong person. If you know your
It's a
man doesn't
responsibility to
want
be
to
honest.
be, if I can finish,
Okay,
if
go
you
ahead.
know your man doesn't want to be monogamous, or you have hints of him not being monogamous, you have to take responsibility and be like, I'm not going to be with him.
But you
as
know
a
what?
woman.
I'm glad you said that, because this is a conversation we were having during break. So I'm gonna bring it to
ahead.
bring it to light,
Look it up.
because Uche said something
already
during
been
break.
brought.
I know. Look, Relationship Tuesday going up on Friday. Y'all better be there Friday, because Uche said something during break, and I was like, for real? And I was like, you know what? He's right. You brought up a conversation that more women tend to deal with the nonsense than the men. So okay,
Men don't
say
deal
your
with that
point.
foolishness. You gonna play me? You're not even cheat on me. You gonna play me? You out. I'm out.
Yeah.
But women are the ones that put up with this foolishness. I never seen so many situations where the man knows that where the woman knows that the man has a family, a wife,
Yeah.
3-4 old ladies.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. Look, no nothing, and she still roll with him
You know why,
anyway.
though?
And
You
guess
know
what?
why?
And guess what the
Why?
friends do? They cheerlead for her. They don't tell her no different.
the get along
You
gang.
better get
Why
what
are you
can
being a part of the
get,
get along
'cause,
gang?
You know, you ain't gonna find another man like that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what?
you
But
know
men
what?
don't roll like that.
You know why though? Because some women they figure, well, being his number 2 or his number 3 is better than being single.
Are you
Or
serious?
better than
Oh my God.
better than being a raggedy number 1 to somebody else. You know, obviously they're getting some type of need met.
So the $1 million question.
What need is being met by being 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7?
He might
Okay.
got a good pound
Brian.
game. He might be paying some bills.
There's so many
He got
other ways.
you know what
that
they
you
call
can-
it? He got that good jug, you know.
Oh my God!
There's so
See,
many
I said
other ways.
pound game, but he.
But to get back on the original
Relationship
point,
Tuesday
though,
going up on a Friday. Y'all better be there Friday, 7 o'clock.
But the whole thing, Eileen, is the better question. You know, a lot of these relationship questions all lead back to the original question is, it's the woman is the catalyst. It's what the women allow. And
Yeah, we can't do nothing without them.
We only do what y'all allow us to do.
Yeah.
You gonna allow me to have an old lady, a family, 2 other chicks, and you? You gonna allow that?
Yeah.
Then you gonna do
I'm
it.
good. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'm complaining.
Yeah, why not? Right.
And so I'm gonna go ahead and just to balance it for about 2
All
minutes.
right, Dr.
here.
Turner.
So Eileen is making another good point though that I hear, and
Thank
we have
you.
to acknowledge the fact that the person who's doing the extracurriculars, where's their responsibility? Now, I think once again, that person has to decide, you know what, man, this really ain't what I want to be in. I probably don't need to be in this relationship, this marriage, because this person wants monogamy, this person wants exclusivity, this person wants commitment full. But I think that becomes the battleground for the individual to deal with. If they don't want that, it is hard to accept that. And let's be honest, a lot of women who are good women have fallen prey to that trap because they're good women, and men do want good women. That's one of the things I've told my mentees and young women. I said, you can't be mad that a bad guy wants a good girl. Everybody wants a good woman. Everybody wants a good woman. Nobody wants somebody that's raggedy, period, male or female.
Right.
So if you're a good person, you're going to attract people who want you. It's your job, and this is why I think
to know your worth.
Uche is right and nailing it. It is your job to say, look, I'm not going to put up with your BS because I'm a good person.
Yeah.
You don't deserve me. I've tried. I've given you ample opportunity to get your issue together. I've given you ample opportunity to do right, and you not. And while you might love me to death and while you might come crying, whatever. But I think that's it. And I will say there was an article yesterday where another young lady was killed by a young man leaving the bar because she rebuffed him and said no. And the author was writing about how he fears for women, specifically black women, who every day they get accosted and put in these positions where they have to be nice to somebody because they don't want to date them. And so I think that is a fear that we have to be honest about it once again. And I think it is an untalked about topic in the black community, violence against women and how we mistreat women and how it's so pervasive at times. But we have to be honest that we have to be better about how we teach our young sisters about being strong women, not to get raped, because that's the guy's job. Men are not supposed to rape, but we have to teach our women about being strong and being confident and being assertive in who they are to protect themselves. And that goes right to the topic. Don't accept less than.
Stop being a part of the get-along gang.
Let me touch on this get-along gang because we gotta touch all points on this circle.
Please.
Okay, point circle, but anyway.
Yeah.
Here's the other part of the get along. Here's the part of the get along. Here's the other part of the get along gang that the get along gang will never admit to the victim is that they're actually receiving some benefit from the man that they're dealing with. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
They're receiving some benefit. So he's with her, but maybe he got tickets for her to go to the Bayou Classic, to the Zulu bar. Yeah. So they're like, he's great.
Maybe I get free pizza at Italian Pie.
Oh my God!
Nobody get free pizza at Italian Pie. But no, but great point. But it's like the thing is that that's why the get along gang is the get along gang, because these get along gangs, these people, they're receiving benefits from the man. So the friends back him up.
And so they're the get along gang as well.
Yeah.
Y'all, we're going to go to the lines. We have Kevin on line 2. Kevin, oops, I hit the wrong one.
I'm getting some feedback.
Wait, Kevin, call back. I hit the wrong button. I can't do it this morning. Please call back. I'm hitting the wrong button.
Kevin, call back, man. We got Eileen tripping in here, bro. Like,
they do have me tripping. I am like,
she can't believe what she's hearing. That's
but look,
I mean, I know it's true, but that's what Relationship Tuesday is all about.
But Eileen,
because it's hard to hear the truth sometimes.
But Eileen, I think the reason why it's hard to believe is because all too often.
There it is. Kevin's back.
We have to acknowledge that women do it too. And as long as we play this game but as long as we try to make it out to be a man's problem only, then the reality becomes it's not just men, it's how we teach about relationships. So regardless whether it's a man or a woman or not, and this goes back to the point. A lot of guys who was number 2s and was happy because they was getting extra game. Because husband didn't want to do it, wasn't going to do it. So, you come over here for this 2-3 hours, you tell me what your a la carte is, and we do it.
But we don't do it for years.
Yeah.
We don't do it for years.
We not like, I'm going to be a number 2 and be really number 2 forever.
Right.
We got a number 2 for now until
we got a number 2 because we got a number 1.
Right, there you go.
Oh, Lord. We need to notice when you're going along with bad behavior and some idea or some story, either by saying nothing, condoning, or making excuses for this person. You may have to do an inventory of your own bad behavior and clean up your own act. And at the same time, you'll clean up your mind and hopefully do a little self-reflection and leave the good life. We have Kevin on line 2. Kevin, I'm so sorry. Welcome to the Good Life Relationship Tuesday. We're talking about the Get Along Gang. Help me out, Kevin.
Hey, I don't know. That was an old one. I had a bad connection. I don't know if I should be saying this on the air.
No, say it.
But I don't know if we want. We got a couple of different realities going on here, and y'all kind of alluded to it when you talked about society, particularly African American, how females have have to worry about their security. Okay, when it comes to relationships too. And I say female African American, but I'm quite sure it happens across the board. I mean, I hear females getting assaulted all across the board. But that's one reality. The next reality is this. Look, we got how many females, African American females? How many males we got? How many viable African American males we got? Now, we don't want to hear these realities, but this is the facts. statistical facts. Okay, now we have to look at that. We got very few men, and even fewer, and I'm talking about across the board, black, white, and other. And then we got even fewer viable men for these women for security. When you start talking about society and the benefits that the male bring to a relationship, okay? So we have to look at that. The next thing is this. Now we've been conditioned to believe about the setup we have for marriage and relationship right now. I'm not too sure that works for African Americans, okay, considering all the other variables that's affecting our thriving as a family unit.
Mm-hmm.
So now, so what I'm saying is this. First, I feel uncomfortable when, say for instance, a relative, a parental figure relative, have come around me and they want with their significant other, which is another parental unit in relationship to me. I don't feel comfortable that you put me in that position. Whereas, look, I love both of you guys. Why would you?
But what do you say? Do you say something?
I have to address my other parental unit confronting me about. Did you know something?
Right.
It's the same as them doing it to you.
Do you tell them something though when you see it?
I'm sorry?
When you notice that they brought somebody around that you don't really approve of, do you say something?
No. I have to say no because I was in a subordinate position to them. Okay? And I didn't feel, where I'm from, you're subordinate. You that's your parent, whether it's an uncle, aunt, grandmother, mother, father, you're subordinate to them. So what it is, I'm not expecting knucklehead discernment from them to do that to me. So it caught me off guard. So I didn't say anything, but I told them in other ways, man, you do not treat your family that way, period.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah,
it's disrespectful to the family. It is, and it puts everybody in an awkward position. It is absolutely not the good life.
but the bottom line is we have to realize maybe this monogamous stuff, this European concept, might not be
Kevin, all right, now we got to go to a break.
Turn this volume up.
Lee, it is time to go to a break. When we get back from, thank you, Kevin. Goodbye, Kevin. When we get back from the break, I am going to open up the lines, and the first caller will win 2 tickets to The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday, going up on a Friday, this Friday at Bullet, 7 p.m. This is The Good Life Relationship Tuesday, and we'll be right back.
You should always know what's going on in your real estate community. If you don't know about it and are curious to find out, ask the real estate experts on NOLA Real Estate Connection, hosted by Kendra Crawford and Keisha Washington. Starting November 4th, tune into NOLA Real Estate Connection for knowledge-building discussions regarding the city's state of current real estate management, growth, shifts, and challenges. The show will be a platform for many positive discussions and topics impactful to our local economic survival and sustainability. Only on WBOK, 12:30 a.m., Real Talk for Real Times, every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m.
Come on, Toy. You ready to go to the groomers? He loves going to McFaith Feed and Pet Supplies. And today, I get a treat, too, because on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, McFaith has bath specials that include the wash, nail clipping, and ear cleaning. It is by appointment only, and all for $15 to $25, depending on the weight of your fur baby. And after 9 grooms, your 10th groom is free. Visit McFaith's today at 4702 Paris Avenue, or call them at 309-2908 to schedule your bath special today. McFaith Feed and Pet Supplies, 309-2908.
This is Darryl Hall over at Peak Mountain Technology Solutions. One of the questions we get asked often is how should a company go about protecting its computer systems environment from viruses or cyber attacks? For starters, it is important to adopt a few habits to help protect your computer systems. For example, use strong passwords for logging into computers. Passwords should not be something that are easily guessed by someone else. If you need to leave your computer or tablet for any length of time while at work, place it in lock mode or shut the computer's power down. Use caution when clicking on attachments or web links received through email from people you don't know. And don't click on pop-up ads from websites unless you have a reason to trust that site. And use virus protection software. On behalf of Peak Mountain Technology Solutions, this has been your Computer Technology Minute. For more information on how we can help protect your computer environment, give us a call at 504-355-8400 or visit us online at peakmountain-techsolutions.com.
This is your legal line for the day, brought to you by the Hilliard Law Firm. The worst thing you can do if someone sues you or if your check is being garnished is to ignore the documents from the court or your creditor. If you are struggling with credit card and other unsecured debt, the federal law may provide you the relief you need by filing a bankruptcy. In many cases, when an individual files a Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy, the wage garnishment is usually stopped. With the filing of most Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcies, the court issues what is called an automatic stay, which prohibits creditors from taking action to collect the debt. However, there are some exceptions to this rule, so please consult an attorney who will provide you with advice that is specific to your situation. This was your legal line of the day, brought to you by the Hilliard Law Firm. For more information, call 504-729-6133.
Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. Sets off at Bullets, 2441 AP Toro, January 29th at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday, going up on a Friday, is presented by the Good Life Radio Show, featuring Stand Up Nola, combining Relationship Tuesday with the crew, Eileen, Uche, Brian, Henry, and Ty, and Fridays, the Good Laugh Comedy Hour with comedians Tony Frederick, Matt Owens, and CJ Hunt. The Good Laugh is comic relations. Buy your tickets online now. thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com. Come hear what really goes on during commercial breaks. Come get your relationship questions answered live. Stand Up Nola will say everything we can't say on air. The Good Laugh Relationship Tuesday, going up on a Friday at Bullets, 2441 AP Toro, January 29th at 7 p.m. Tickets are going fast, so purchase online now at thegoodlaugh.brownpapertickets.com.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are here to open your mind.
In a different lane.
We are here on Relationship Tuesday. I want to invite everybody out on this Friday. Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday at Bullet, 7 p.m. So I want you to be the first caller at 504-260-9265. That's 504-260-9265. And you tell us what restaurant Uche owns in Gentilly. I just gave you a big hint. If you're the first caller to tell us which restaurant Uche owns, you'll win 2 tickets to The Good Laugh. Relationship Tuesday going up on a Friday, this Friday at Bullet, 7 p.m. Make sure you're there. It's $10, y'all, so it's like $20 for a date night, get all the good information. It's a perfect time to, take somebody and see if they're a part of the get-along gang.
Yeah, yes. But that's the perfect place to take a 2 instead of something like that.
Oh, no.
And not the mayor's ball. You see what I'm saying? You don't take the 2 to the mayor's ball. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, my gosh. Wait, speaking of what we talk about during breaks, you were saying something, kind of monumental during the break. Uche.
Which part?
Everything.
That's why it's hard for me to gotta give me a hint.
We were talking about, family dynamics, I should say.
Oh, yeah. Family dynamics. And, when you break it down to the family dynamics and you get down to the children, I was saying, I don't want to explain to my children why Miss Eileen.
Don't make me the example. Make somebody else.
Well, you said to talk about what we said during break, and since the cat's already out the bag, here we go.
No.
But I don't want my kids to be like,
don't make me the
Daddy,
example.
Miss Eileen came, but who was this other guy she was with? And I don't want to explain that because I'm really diving into a deeper area, especially for children, to explain things like this to. And like the caller said, he was in a subordinate position to even call it out in the first place. But, kids and children shouldn't be involved in adult things,
Right.
And as adults, we should keep these things away from children, and that's the main point of why you don't do things like that, and that's why you don't condone behavior like that. So if Eileen bringing dudes around, my kids asking, Eileen ain't coming around no more.
Right. Exactly.
And that's how my invite list goes to my family stuff. If we doing something for Jazz Fest at my boy Twine house, that's family.
Right.
That's family. And that's the same family it's going to be every year. And guess what? We don't roll like that.
I love the example that Kevin brought up. And it's Mardi Gras time. You're going to a Mardi Gras parade and say you have a cousin or, a family member or an uncle or something like that. And they bring, somebody that everyone knows isn't
it's uncomfortable.
Main chick. It's uncomfortable.
See, I don't know how. I would have to be in a super duper subordinate position and not say anything. I've had to say things to family members. Mm-hmm. I'm like, look, why do you
think that's okay?
Why would you bring your side piece around, or why would you even do that? Like, look, whatever you
male
do,
or
you
female,
do.
right?
Yeah, whatever you do, you do. But don't bring that around here.
Right.
Don't bring that around me. Come on. And you being a friend to them. You really like, look, that's not a good look. You shouldn't be doing it anyway. But if you're gonna do it, look, do it behind closed doors. Don't do it over here.
My dad told me a long time ago, he said, look, I was seeing this girl, which he liked very much. And within a week, I was like, I thought it was cool to bring another chick to the house. And he was like, he said it very simply. He's like, you're setting a very bad example for yourself. Mm. And that was the last time something like that happened. But for me, I thought it was cool. Mm-hmm. Because automatically, I'm like, I'm not with the other chick anymore. But what he was saying, it doesn't look good. You're not setting a good example. It doesn't. Right. It's not a good look for you. And you don't.
But look, it took a man to have that conversation for you to open your mind.
Yeah.
And that's the point of today's show. We need to have those conversations with people because they may not even really see, the error of their ways.
You got to be big brother, even though it may not be your brother.
It may not be as relevant for us at our age, but I think a lot of times with folks who are coming behind us, it's the images and messages that they receive through multiple mediums about what's okay in relationships and not. And so for the most part, if we look at it historically and, psychologically, as we were just kind of playing with the notion, scientifically, whatever you want, men have historically been the ones more likely to cheat and have extramarital outside relationships. But
define cheating.
I'm just gonna be. Let me just move.
There is
quickly.
emotional cheating, and I will say yes, there is emotional cheating.
Anything that your partner's not okay with. But let me finish my point.
So like, but having long conversations.
Okay with after you told your partner that I'm not okay with you not being okay with it, and you still want to be with me? I'm not cheating. I told you I don't want to be with just one. If I'm telling you I don't want to be with just one woman, and you still continue to call, come over, and do all these things, and then you catch me with 2 other women, I'm not cheating.
I'm playing by the rules.
You're saying you're okay with it.
But we need to get clear about our integrity.
I think the point is, like,
let's be clear.
We got to be real about the images and messages. That's why I appreciate Uche's point about how he would, in essence, play his role to the fullest as a father of saying, look, there's certain things I'm not willing to allow my daughters to witness. And until they're of a certain age, I'm going to do my job to protect them from what I think is erroneous or bad behavior. And I think that's a big part of, once again, is we can say all that about whose fault and who role it is, but at the end of the day, we have to accept that people will do things that we disagree with, and we have to be willing to say what we have to say. So like Harry said, and I think it's real. It's a very big thing to step up to somebody who you may consider as a parent to say, look, I don't think what you did was right. And that's tough because that person might provide you material support. That person might be the reason why you eat every day.
Right.
You might be jeopardizing some real stuff. And so you do have to compromise that at times. But I think in reality, you have to know what your values are and those that you have the biggest impact on. You have to be willing to say, look, that's not okay. So even to the point of Henry never told that person wrong, if he took his seeds home and said, look, let me explain to y'all how dad feels about this. What y'all saw uncle or auntie do, that's not okay.
Right.
I'm not all right with it, and we're never going to that house again, and don't ask me to go over there because that person is wrong. So, I mean, that could be anything. That could be drugs. That could be fighting.
Exactly.
That could be sex. That could be relationships. You have to, as the parent and as the person in control of your household, make that decision.
And I'm glad you said that, Brian, because we are talking about relationships, but it can be in so many different aspects. It can be gambling. It could be cheating. It can be lying, stealing, dealing drugs, doing whatever you do, being an alcoholic, being an abusive relationship. There's nothing more uncomfortable than being at a family, event and then somebody talk to their significant other, sideways and out the box, and you're like, if they do that in front of me, you know how it goes down in their house. You know what I'm saying? So, we really need to step up and have these conversations as a community, because that's how we grow and that's how we support each other. And, we talk and we have fun here, but getting down to nitty gritty, we want New Orleans and the greater, community in the world to be better. We want to open people's mind to living differently in the world with a little bit love, compassion, understanding, and tolerance. But you do not have to let somebody, walk over you and kind of, push you to the edge of your ethics.
When you see somebody doing something dirty that you care about and that's your friend, say something. Why not? What are friends for?
I think the one word that Eileen left out in everything that she said is empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that you miss in the get-along gang, is to say, you know what? I'm not experiencing and going through what you're going through, but I understand that I'm not, and I feel for the fact that you are, and I hope you can get out of whatever situation you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a Shark Tank moment. And for that reason, I'm out. As a friend, to be like, I'm out. I can't deal with this foolishness that you're doing. I'm not gonna condone this by accepting this. I'm not gonna condone this by you saying, I'm gonna allow you to bring this man that has 2 other women and so on and so forth in my personal space.
Right. You would stop being friends with him, or you would.
I'm like, you can't come around me like that.
Don't do that around me.
You can't come around me with that foolishness, man. If you want to be around me, come by yourself.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not pushing a friend away to say I'm not going to be friends with you, but I'm being empathetic to say I'm not in your situation.
Right.
So while I understand your situation, please understand mine. And what I'm saying is, keep that stuff on the other side of the street.
True.
I always welcome your company. Don't come around my house with your side chick, man.
Right.
Don't come nowhere around me, because then that is how you're looked at.
Right.
Yeah.
You're saying that's okay. And I think that ultimately is that larger concept of what happens when we don't speak out against anything that we disagree with. And Dr. King said, the threat to justice is injustice anywhere. And so we have to be honest about the fact that, and I think I said that wrong, but the reality being that anytime I let something go bad that I could stop, I'm saying I'm okay with it. And I can't do that. I mean, whether it be students, whether it be family, whether it be friends, I think, Lucha, you hit it on the head. Keep that across the street. And if you can't come over here with a clean bill of health or a clean slate, you stay across the street too.
Right, exactly.
Look, I'll come see you. You don't come see me.
There you go. That's exactly what we're talking about. Y'all, we want you to just get clear about your integrity, who and how you want to be in the world. What are your boundaries, limits, and expectations around how you behave and what you'll accept, in your relationships and your surroundings. Remember, true compassion and, yes, Uche, empathy is active. It elevates. It demands more from yourself and of others, and it enlightens. And that's what we do here on The Good Life. We open people's minds to living differently in the world. So make sure you show up this Friday at Bullets because it is going down. The Good Laugh, Relationship Tuesday is going up on a Friday. Bullets, 2441 AP Toro, January 29th, this Friday at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. The Good Laugh at brownpapertickets.com. And do not forget, today is $2 Tuesdays on tap at Gentili Italian Pie. That's 4706 Paris Avenue. That is today, home of the Family Happy Hour. $5 wings, personal pizzas, and drink specials. Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. 504-826-9180. And I know y'all are looking for those catering options for all the ball seasons, especially Zulu. You don't want to cook. You don't want to get something that's in the budget. Make sure you call Gentili Italian Pie. Ask for Renee. 504-826-9180 because that is The Good Life. Stay tuned. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.